My name is Janet Woods, and I'm doing a story on making maple syrup in Edinboro. Pennsylvania is named Pennsylvania for the Latin Sylvania, which means forest. And when William Penn named Pennsylvania, Pennsylvania, he did so because of the spectacular maple trees that are all through the state of Pennsylvania. When people talk about New England and eastern United States and how beautiful it is in the fall, we can credit William Penn with naming Pennsylvania Penn's Forest or Penn's Woods because of the spectacular beauty of the red and yellow and orange maple trees. And they are what give us pure maple syrup. Pure maple syrup has been made since people inhabited Edinboro and northwest Pennsylvania. Native Americans made syrup first, and then as the colonists came here, they would clear fields, they would clear a forest, and they would make sawmills, and they would develop sawmill runs around creeks. They would clear a field and then be able to plant crops, build a small cabin here. Throughout generations, people have made maple syrup in Edinboro. The colonists made syrup at Hurry Hill in 1846, and they've been making maple syrup in our area here in Edinboro in southern Erie County since then. Many dairy farmers made maple syrup from the 1900s through the 1950s and 60s and 70s. They needed something to do during this period of time between winter and spring, and many of the improvements in the maple syrup industry were made by dairy farmers. For example, many people now use vacuum pumps and tubing to bring the syrup from the tree to the sugar house. Well, they got their vacuum pumps from their milk houses, and they would use filtering systems, and they would maybe use a milk can or something to filter the maple syrup and take out the nite or the sugar sand, which is the sugar sand that you find, which is the minerals you find in the bottom of your tea kettle. We find that in syrup because syrup is made from maple sap, which is mostly water and 2% sugar. And so farmers would make maple syrup during that period of time. And today we find that there are producers of maple syrup, but there are many more hobbyists who make maple syrup. 90% of all the syrup that is made in the United States, 90% of all the producers are hobbyists with under 100 taps. Yes, there are many producers with 5,000, 10,000 taps who produce maple syrup, but most of the people who make maple syrup are those who make it in their backyard for their own consumption. Of course, there is a local food movement that plays an integral part in making maple syrup, as well as a nutritional benefit. The more we study maple syrup, the more we realize that it's a natural product that is nutritionally beneficial with all the minerals and vitamins and nutrients that is good for us. And so a lot of people make their own maple syrup. It never surprises me when someone comes up and says, "Try my maple syrup."